Hey Danosaurs, today we are at the basement dino dungeon and we have the new 2021 Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus and we will take a look at all these different Spinosaurids. So let's go guys. Okay guys, I think first we need to open up this Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus. So let's go, okay? So basically this is the new Camp Cretaceous Spinosaurus from 2021. I think this could be like a spoiler. It could be a new Spinosaurus, I'm not too sure. So let's open this up. You're gonna remove this little flap below. And then you need to turn this little plastic knobs anti-clockwise to actually release it from the box, okay? Like this. And there you go, one is done. You need to remove the other one. I'm not keeping the box, so don't really mind the box getting damaged. So the Spinosaurus is out of the box, just like this. Take a look at the back of the box, you can see the beautiful Camp Cretaceous logo right over here. And then with some articulation on the Spinosaurus. Okay, so let's take a look at this Spinosaurus. Wow, it looks pretty amazing. I'm gonna do a comparison with the rest really soon, so you can actually see it has the same functionality as the previous Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus with a movable tail. The legs can be moved as well as the arms. So this looks really incredible. Okay, next let's do a comparison with all the other Spinosaurus. Okay guys, we are now back at my desk, so we will do a comparison for all these different Spinosaurus right over here, and I want you guys to rate. Alright, so this is the new 2021 Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus. I'm gonna give it like a 8.5 out of 10. What about you guys? And this is the previous version. Okay, so if you take a look, they look almost exactly the same, but with a different color scheme. I'm gonna say the new one looks better, but what about you guys? This one is actually pretty rare as well. I'm gonna give this like 8 out of 10, and this 8.5, just because I prefer the colors more. What about you guys? Please let me know. Alright, next up. Okay, we have a vintage Jurassic Park Roarivores. What is a Roarivores? You guys may ask me. So Roarivores is basically a dinosaur made of rubber. Okay, so this is basically made of rubber. It's a vintage Jurassic Park Spinosaurus. To do a comparison, I really love this. So I'm gonna give the vintage Spinosaurus a 8.5 as well. So basically they have like the same score. Alright, I'm trying to find a place to place this right back. Just gonna place it right over here. Right, and next up, I'll take this, the Battle Damage Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus. Wow, I think this is like one of the rarest Mattel figures ever. So hard to find, really amazing figure. This got to be like 9.5. I am not too sure. What about you guys? I really love this, and because it is so extremely rare, I'm gonna give it like a super high score. Yeah, just a very super good score. Alright, next up. Okay, we have a new addition. So this is like this is one of my latest addition for a Spinosaurus. This is actually known as the React Attack Spinosaurus. It's very cool. It's a JP3 Spinosaurus, so you can actually move the tail and the neck will move along as well. It's supposed to produce sounds, but I think my batteries are no longer working. But that's fine. I've actually purchased new batteries and see if it will still work if we replace the batteries. So if you ask me to do a comparison, wow, it's really tough. This is like so cool, but that one right over there is like vintage and it's like it holds so much memories. And probably a tie. I am not too sure. Next up, let's take a look at this. Our Earthquake Spinosaurus. If you are a true dinosaur, you should know that I have actually repainted this on my own. I actually love it a lot, and I got the inspiration of this paint scheme from this Spinosaurus right over here. So you guys can see they look pretty similar. So if you ask me which one do I prefer more, I'm just gonna tell you honestly, I prefer my repainted Spinosaurus Earthquake more because I put in so much time and effort into this figure. Yeah, so I'll just say I'm gonna give this as my most favorite figure so far. What about you guys? Please let me know down below, okay? Whether you guys prefer the new Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus more, or do you guys still think our Earthquake Spinosaurus, is still the best? Alright, next up, let's move on to take a look at other Spinosaurus. We have two really awesome Spinosaurus, and they look super realistic. They are actually Spinosaurus from Nanmu Studio. Oh my goodness, they look so amazing. I'm gonna give them like 9.5 out of 10 as well. They are inspired by all the Jurassic Park Spinosaurus. Alright, so if it's hard to do a comparison with this because they are from two totally different categories. Alright, next up, let's take a look at some Baryonyx. So before you guys ask me why are Baryonyx in this video, because Baryonyx, they come from the same family as the Spinosaurus. They are known as Spinosaurids. They are from the Spinosauridae family. So right over here we have this Baryonyx from the breakout set. Doesn't have any sounds, so I'm just gonna place it right over here. And this is the first Baryonyx from Mattel. And this is a Roarivore, which means it's able to produce roars. And the Baryonyx is known as the heavy claw because the first claw right here is actually bigger and heavier than the rest. And if you have watched Camp Cretaceous, this could be Baryonyx Chaos. Yes, because Baryonyx Chaos, it has some blue tint on top of his head, and this looks like the one. And speaking of more Baryonyx, we have a super vintage Baryonyx, a retro figure, JP23, all the way back in 1994. So you can see the roars are really outdated. It doesn't really sound like the roars of a dinosaur, but this is still one really cool and awesome Baryonyx. Which one is Baryonyx Green? Baryonyx Green is actually this one right here. It is the most colorful Baryonyx from Camp Cretaceous, most vibrant looking. Yeah, and this one should be Baryonyx Green. Okay, there is also Baryonyx Limbo, which I think it's this one right here, Baryonyx Limbo. So this one doesn't contain any sounds, okay, but that's fine. All right, time for us to take a look at some other Spinosaurids. Irritator. Irritator, yes, this dinosaur I think has one of the weirdest names. So paleontologists actually discovered its fossils. They were badly tampered, so they had a hard time putting it back. So they were extremely irritated by the fossils. Hence, they have named this the Irritator. Yes, so as you guys can see, the Irritator, it looks like a modern day crocodile because of the snout right over here. Yep, so Irritator, it's also a Spinosaurid. So let's do a size comparison. So the size comparison is actually pretty accurate. So the Spinosaurus is actually the biggest, followed by, I think, the Suchomimus, then the Baryonyx, and then the Irritator. So this is actually, they've actually created all these dinosaurs to scale and to size. All right, we have the Suchomimus right over here. It is known as the crocodile mimic because it just resembles a crocodile. This is a mega dual attack Suchomimus. Two different actions, one trigger the neck and the jaw, the other triggers the tail. Suchomimus, it's the second version, second series. We have the first series right here, which is known as the action attack Suchomimus. So with only one single action. And we have the repainted version as well, which I repainted using the action attack Suchomimus. I call this Suchomimus Magma. So this name was actually given by one of the dinosaurs who commented down below. So thanks to you, we have found a super name for it. All right, now it's time for us to take a look at more, accurate Spinosaurus. What do you guys think of this? This is a quadrupedal Spinosaurus, walking on four legs, as you guys can see. This spine bone right here, if you do a comparison with the Nanmu Studio one, it has a different shape. So the one from Nemo Studio, it's actually based on the old model of a Spinosaurus. And this is like a newer version which the paleontologists have found out. So they believed the Spinosaurus were walking on all four legs, and this spine right here, it has a slight concave curve at the top. Alright, so this is how the new paleontologists, not exactly new, I mean the paleontologists actually discovered this new theory. Oops, oh my goodness. Alright, so this figure, it's from PNSO. It is a super detailed, super realistic figure. One of my most favorite. And PNSO actually came out with another version this year. And they were super nice to send me this figure right here. So if you take a look, this figure, it still has the similar kind of sail right over here, this neural spine bones of a Spinosaurus. But in terms of the face, they've actually created it in a different look and feel. A lot of people have mentioned that, you know, they prefer the older version. But what about you guys? Please let me know. Alright, let's take a look at more Baryonyx. So Baryonyx, oops, they've actually released a new Roarivore right over here. Or should I say Soundstrike? No, this is actually not Soundstrike. This is the second series Roarivore. Yeah, I mean, this could be one of the Camp Cretaceous Baryonyx. We are not too sure. But this one definitely looks very, very nice as well. Okay, time for us to take a look at this. What species is this? Are you guys able to tell me? This looks like a Suchomimus. It also looks like an Irritator, but this is actually an Ichthyovenator. So let's take a look at the name written right below. Ichthyovenator. So basically you can see it has a very similar snout, head shape, you know, similarly to all the Spinosaurus right over here, but you can see the sail right in the middle. It has an indentation right in the center. So this is Ichthyovenator. As you guys can see, it is feeding on a fish. So basically all these different Spinosaurus, they are semi-aquatic dinosaurs. So they can live on land, they can also live in the water. And of course, they feed a lot on fish. Okay, next up, one of my very first Spinosaurus when I created Dan Surprise. This is actually a Spinosaurus from Schleich. So Schleich used to be really popular back in Singapore. When you go to Toys R Us, you're able to see, you know, different Schleich dinosaurs displayed in the shelves. But, you know, now they have no longer feature all these Schleich dinosaurs. I've guessed they are actually too expensive. Alright, next up, look at this. This is actually a 2015 Spinosaurus from the very first Jurassic World movie. Okay, not Jurassic Park, but Jurassic World. This is a little chomper Spinosaurus. Looks really cute. Not the best looking Spinosaurus you can find. You can see some nice battle damage wound right here. But, you know, these figures are no longer in production. Next up, let's take a look at one of these Mattel Spinosaurus. This is really beautiful. This has got to be one of my most favorite Spinosaurus ever. Okay, so Mattel, they actually came out with a couple of Spinosaurus. This was the very first version. As you guys can see, you know, it is walking on two legs. It has a very curved and round sail right over here. But the later version, which is the more accurate version, is actually a walking on four legs Spinosaurus with a more oval shaped like spine, neural spine bone. So this is definitely more accurate. Yeah, and I really love the paint scheme on this. It looks very realistic. It looks like an actual reptile. You guys know what are reptiles? So basically reptiles are like, you know, modern day animals like crocodile, snakes, turtles. All these are different reptiles. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, which figure have we not talked about? Alright, this is a Spinosaurus. Alright, a JP39 Site B. Do you guys know what is the name of the island Site B? If you know, drop a comment down below. Okay, so this is basically a vintage Spinosaurus. When you move the left arm backwards, the jaw will actually open. It's really cute. I'm not too sure whether this is supposed to produce sounds, but you know, the sounds are apparently not working anymore, even after I've replaced the batteries. So too bad about that. Okay, next up, let's take a look at more Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. Right over here, this is one really awesome figure. It's still working. The sounds are still working. Two different roars. Once you press this button on his throat, the jaw will open. And this one on the battle damage wound. Yeah, really awesome. The spine bone is actually very small, not exactly accurate, but this is a vintage figure, so we can actually forgive them. Next up, we have two similar Spinosaurus right over here from Jurassic Park 3. One of them is working, and you can listen to it. The sounds and the roars are similar to the previous one. Yep, that's right. So these two are exactly the same, but one of the sounds are not working. This one is not working, even though I have replaced the batteries. All right, let's take a look at this Baryonyx right over here. This is another really vintage Baryonyx. So take a look at this, a 1997 Baryonyx. Wow, how many years is that? You know, it should be like 24 years already, I think. Yeah, wow, that's a really vintage Spinosaurus. Another one which is out of the screen is actually this Natural History Museum Carnegie Spinosaurus from Safari, or it's not actually from Natural History Museum, it is actually from Safari Ltd Carnegie Collection. This is a really, you know, interesting looking Spinosaurus, but this figure of mine, it can't stand well. Okay, another Spinosaurus which you guys should be familiar with if you have like watched every single of my videos. We have a young juvenile Spinosaurus. And where is this produced? This was actually produced in France by the brand Peppo. Really cute Spinosaurus, but you know, once again, this figure is not able to stand well. Okay, and right over here we have a super retro looking Baryonyx. Yes, this is a Baryonyx. It's not exactly a very old figure, probably 20 years back, and it looks like a very classic looking Baryonyx. Very weird looking, not the best looking Baryonyx, but you know, it is a classic retro looking Baryonyx. Yeah. What other figures have we missed out? I think probably some of these little ones right here. This is a Snap Squad, and hopefully they will be able to come up with more Snap Squad figures of, you know, more Spinosaurus, probably like a metallic version. That'd be really nice, cause I'm a huge fan of metallic paint, as you guys know. All right. Oh yes, we've almost forgotten about this. Oh my goodness, did you guys see what happened? We just broke one of the spikes, but that is fine. We will just glue it right back. So this is my repainted level 40 Baryonyx. So I've basically sculpted each and every single one of the spikes right here, pasted them onto this body, give it a repaint, and yeah, it's not the best looking figure, but you know, definitely one of my, you know, proudest work, because I put in so much effort into, you know, this repainted dinosaurs. And we are doing a super colossal T-Rex repaint, so stay tuned for that really soon. Okay, all right, so guys, we are done. We are done with all the figures, and I'm just gonna show you one last look at this really beautiful and awesome looking, you know, 2021 Extreme Chompin Spinosaurus. Really happy that I've got it. I've actually got it from eBay. This is actually not available in many countries yet. So yes, all right. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video. This is basically like an additional exclusive videos just for you guys. So I really hope that you guys like it, and I will see you soon in the next video. Goodbye.